What's going on, ladies and gents? Made my first video yesterday. It was a lot of work, but I think I've kind of broken the ice now, so I'll make a few more, maybe, I'll decide. I know I look a little cleaner today. I went to the barber shop to have my beard trimmed, and I told him not to mess with the length, and he messed with the length. I'm very upset about that. Let me turn another light on here so you can see me. See? A little less scruffy than yesterday. You can actually see my mouth. All right. So anyway, made a very long video. I posted it yesterday. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. You can check my page, The Real Maroon JK. Can't wait to find out that Jeep finds a way to come out after me for that. Anyway, so I was reading a lot of more posts on social media today, and you know, people were making arguments, and I didn't see any of the good ones. You have to understand something, that most 2A advocates like myself, all right, when we see you make a comment, all right, chances are we can blow your comment up with facts. We can just it takes me about 3 seconds to look at somebody's crazy gun control argument and be like, no. All right, I saw one today, and at first glance I was like, that might not be, oh, no, wait, yes it is, sorry. I'm just still half asleep. So, the post was, when a child hits my child with a stick, you're right. I don't blame the stick, but I take the stick away, all right? And I get the point that you're trying to make here, all right? I get it. You don't like guns. You don't think anybody should have them, okay? I see where you were going with that. But here's one big problem, all right? I don't ever remember my mom walking around the entire playground because one kid got hit with a stick and taking away everybody's sticks, okay? You took away the stick from that one kid, and chances are you probably just threw it on the ground somewhere else. That kid go pick the stick up again, right? Come back and hit your kid again. What you really do is tell your kid to pick up a stick and beat the shit out of the kid with the stick. They don't get hit with a stick no more. Anyway, not the answer. Violence doesn't solve violence, okay? But, so I see where you were going, but there's holes in your argument, all right? If you want to propose common sense gun control with the rest of us, you need to provide arguments that don't have holes in them, all right? No mom is walking around the entire playground and taking away everybody's stick because one kid with a stick is an asshole, okay? I also don't know if you realize this might be secretive, right? And it might actually be mind-blowing, okay? But when an absolute friggin' wackadoo, okay, walks into any sort of building or any sort of public area and pulls a gun and shoots people, we take his stick away. We do. If he doesn't kill himself first, we put cuffs on him, we take him to jail, and we seize his stick, all right? In case you couldn't figure it out, stick is short for firearm, okay? We take his firearm. So your post is correct, and we do that. We take their sticks away when they're assholes with their sticks, okay? We do it when they don't shoot people up, okay? Guy gets a divorce, okay? Wife wants to be an asshole, gets a restraining order. Guess what? Cops show up to that guy's house. Sorry, man, you got a restraining order. You need to give us all your firearms. It's just what happens, right? So if you're an asshole with your stick, yes, just like your post said, you will get your stick taken away. So very good for proving our point more. I understand that that's not where you thought your post was going, but that's actually where it went, all right? Good job at failing. I don't know, whatever you want. So anyway, I was looking at a lot of facts and I got to thinking, all right, because I've said it before. I think I said it last year when there were school shootings going on. I was like, you know, it's really interesting. It might have been 2 years ago in 2016. It's very interesting that I've lived my whole life, and I feel like school shootings never happened until recently. And every time they happen, we blame the gun and we blame the NRA, and you know, we never blame the parents, okay? We never blame the shooter, okay? He was always a great kid. You know, we didn't notice he had any problems. You know, he was outside with magnifying glasses up to his goldfish, but, you know, he seemed like he was a good kid. All right, so we blame the NRA, we blame the gun, all right? We blame the Republicans, we blame gun owners like me, we blame us. All right, we blame everybody. And I was thinking about it today because I was like, wow, I kind of want to look into this. So I looked up school shootings. Okay, now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I was going to go by decades, right? What happened, what decades? I'm also going to throw in presidents there. I'm not saying there's any direct correlation, but feel free to make up your own minds. Okay, so 1980s to 1990s. Who was our president? Come on, you know. My little 6-year-old cousin could not only tell you who the president was, but he could tell you an interesting fact about him. Okay, Ronald Reagan, right? Not the entire decade, but most of it. Okay, he was superseded, or he was succeeded by George Bush in 1989. Old George Bush. Okay, from 1980 to 1990, there were 39 school shootings in the United States of America. Okay, do we know what happened in 1990 with schools? Anybody know? Okay, in 1990. Obama's buddy Joe, Big Bad Joe Biden, came into Congress one day and said, hey, I'd like to propose this bill. And everybody said, wow, that's a great idea, Joe. Let's do it. And they had George Bush in 1990 sign into law the Gun-Free School Zone Act. Okay? Now school zones are drug-free and gun-free. Okay? I've never seen anybody do drugs on school property. Ever. Ever. 24 hours in a day. It's crazy that nobody ever does drugs in school. Anyway. For the next decade, between 1990 and 2000, right? School shootings almost doubled. Okay? See, that's a little trick like what the media does where they change things. See, if I had just said, you know, 80s to 90s, there were 39 school shootings, right? And between the 90s and 2000, they put the School Zone Act, the Gun-Free School Zone Act in, and school shootings almost doubled, okay? There were 64 school shootings in the decade, the 90s, right? While Bush was in office from 90 to 93, well, 89 to 93, okay? And then Clinton took over, okay? Now, if I had just said there were 64 school shootings in 1990 to 2000, okay? It would have just sounded like 64 school shootings. But when I say school shootings almost doubled, it sounds a lot worse, doesn't it? It almost sounds like the Gun-Free School Zone Act is the reason there's a lot of school shootings. Okay? Anyway. Clinton was impeached. George W. took over, okay, and led our country from 2001 to 2009, all right? I am not saying where he led the country. I'm not saying he did a good job. I'm not saying he did a bad job. Just saying he was our leader, all right? He was hashtag your president. 2001 to 2009, all right? So Clinton only had a year in there. Obama had a year in there from 2009 to 2010, all right? 2000 to 2010, okay? Majority of W's. The majority of that decade was George W, all right? School shootings pretty much flattened out, okay? Went from 64 to 63, okay? 2010 to now, okay? So keep in mind, all those numbers were for a decade. They were all for 10 years. 10 years, okay? 10 years. Obama takes over in 09, okay? And now we have stats from 2010 to present. 143 school shootings, okay? 143, from 63 to 143. I don't even have to say they almost doubled to try and make that sound like an astronomical number, all right? 63 to 143 school shootings, okay? That's a big jump. It's a big jump. Now, I'm not saying that the gun-free school zone is the reason, but before schools were a gun-free school zone, there were a whole lot less school shootings. When Reagan was in office, there were a whole lot less school shootings. You know what some of the variables are, some of the constants are from when school shootings were, I think there were 18 school shootings between 1960 and 1970 in the United States. You know what came around in the 1960s? Colt AR-15. Okay? School shootings were still very low, despite the Colt AR-15 being around. Do you know what was around when school shootings were super low? Back in like the 1860s, 70s, 80s, okay? The National Rifle Association. Okay, the National Rifle Association was established in 1871. I know that because I'm a member. I'm a life member, actually. 1871. A lot less school shootings back then. A lot less school shootings in the 1960s. A lot less school shootings in the 1970s. We had semi-automatic machine assault weapons, didn't we? That's what the media is calling them nowadays. So, I'm failing to understand here how there could be so many less school shootings when the NRA was around and the assault rifle was around, right? I do this because we all know, say it with me now, the AR-15 is not an assault rifle, okay? So it was around in the 60s, it was around in the 70s, it was around in the 80s, it was around in the 90s, it was around in the 2000s. We had the AR-15 for the Y2K bug, okay? 2010, okay? Obama. Do not mix that up. I am not saying that Obama is the reason there were so many school shootings. All right, that's not the correlation I'm making. It's not. 2010 to now, okay? 143 school shootings, okay? We blame the AR-15. We blame the NRA, okay? 10 years ago, in 2007, we had AR-15s, not so many school shootings, right? I'm not saying that any is acceptable. None are acceptable. I'm just saying we need to look at constants here, all right, and variables, okay? I can tell you, I've been around not all that long, and listen, I'm not a parent. I know that when I was growing up, things were a whole lot different, all right? Parenting was so much different. My parents never really hit us, okay? We never got beat. I never went to school with black and blues, okay? But there were times, you know, when you'd mouth off, just a quick one, to let you know where you stood, okay? And it caught you. It was more humiliating than anything, especially when it happened in public. I was at the barber shop today, and these kids were acting out, and all the mom did, excuse me, calm down. Excuse me, calm down. Excuse me. The fuck did that do? That didn't do shit. How many times are you gonna say excuse me, all right, before you realize that your kid's not gonna listen to you, all right? Do you know when you train a dog, okay? You train a dog, and I'm gonna go ahead and relate this, okay? The number one rule of training a dog is that if you want a dog to sit, you don't look at the dog and say sit, 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 because what it does is, without reinforcement, whether it be positive or negative, it teaches the dog that the dog doesn't have to listen to you. Because if you tell him to sit once, and he doesn't sit, and you put your hand on his ass and put his ass on the ground and you make him sit, he sits, okay? You do it again, he sits again. You do it again, he sits again, okay? You keep yelling sit at that dog, and you don't make him sit, all right? I'm not saying you gotta be rough with the dog, but like you put your hand on the dog's ass, you kind of, you know, nudge it in the proper direction, I guess I would say, okay? That dog's gonna sit. You don't do that, that dog learns, well, when he says sit, I can just stand here, because he's not gonna do anything about it. And that's what's happening with kids nowadays, all right? You can say, excuse me, 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 all right? And nothing ever happens, right? The kid learns, well, mom can say stop all she wants. She ain't gonna do shit about it, okay? Kids mouth off nowadays. When was the last time you were around a 17-year-old or 16-year-old? They are disrespectful little shits. They mouth off to their teachers. They mouth off to their elders. They mouth off to their parents. You know why? Because they can do it and nothing happens. Just a quick one. Just a quick one. Not in the face, right? Give them a rap in the ass with a wooden spoon. They'll learn. There has to be some sort of reinforcement. There's not, right? I've noticed this, okay? I've noticed this. You know, like I said, my parents never beat us, right? My parents were very good when we were growing up. Saints, they dealt with a lot of shit, all right? But we knew that we were not allowed to disrespect them or there would be repercussions, okay? That doesn't happen anymore, right? Kids are out eating Tide Pods. Do you fucking think when I was growing up, none of us would have even thought about eating Tide Pods, all right? I mean, I heard of people snorting Ajax, but I always thought that was a joke. It could have been true, let's be honest. Everybody has their dumb, every generation has their dumb people. But seriously, Tide Pods, you know what else kids were doing? Butt-chugging cough syrup. That was a thing. You might not have heard of it. They also butt-chugged alcohol, okay? Kids are getting rushed to the hospital. Rushed to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. And they were dying because of it, all right? Because nobody could figure out where the hell all the alcohol came from because they were butt-chugging it, okay? They would do a handstand, okay, up against the wall at their friend's house. Their friend would take a funnel and stick it in their butt and pour either cough syrup or vodka, okay, into said person's butt, okay? Idea being that when the alcohol touched the tissue inside of the butt, it got into the system faster. So you were drunk like that, and it took a whole lot less vodka, okay? People were also, and I'm gonna tell you this is gonna creep you out a little bit, not just with tampons, I mean, not just with women, okay? Not just the girls, not just the teenage girls, all right? We're soaking tampons in vodka. Vodka-soaked tampons were a thing, okay? Guys were doing it too. These are teenagers. 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old people, all right? Soaking tampons in vodka and sticking them in their orifices. I'm not talking about their mouth and their ears, all right? We can all figure out where people put tampons, okay? These are people that are butt-chugging cough syrup, okay? Do you think that they were parented well? I mean, look, when we wanted to go out and get drunk, we did it the old-fashioned way. We went out, we bought alcohol legally, and we drank it, okay? None of my friends ever went to the hospital for alcohol poisoning, ever. You know why? Because we weren't putting it in funnels in our asses, okay? Parenting is a big part of this. It's a big part of it, okay? What other variables have there been? All right, I touched on it yesterday. Okay, the whole drugging your kids thing. Okay, drugging your kids. I have a very good friend of mine. He's a pharmacist. We were talking about this last night over wings. You know, gotta get wings on Wednesdays. All right, 20 cents. Can't go wrong. Boss Croakers in Wantagh. Best wings on Long Island. I don't care what anybody else says. Danny, the chef, his Reaper sauce, fantastic. All right, come on down. Anyway, he said that it's a proven fact that these, you know, you drug your kids that young, and all these drugs that they're giving them, they increase suicidal tendencies, they increase anger and rage, and you know, the kid gets old enough to not be with his parents anymore. Who's going to decide to keep the kid on his meds? It's the kid's decision. The kid doesn't want to take the meds. All right, so now you have these kids that were drugged their whole life, and they're angrier people for it, and they're more suicidal for it. Suicidal people have nothing to lose. All right, drugging your kids for reasons that they don't need to be drugged, because they're still not old enough for you to decide whether or not they have a psychological problem. Some of them, yes. Some of them, absolutely. All of them, absolutely not. Most of your kids are just assholes because that's the age they're at. All right. You know, well, I also touched on it yesterday, okay? Buying your kids these crazy video games, all right? I was playing today, and I got beat up on by some kid. And when I got back into the chat room, geez, I thought it was a girl at first. I thought it was a girl. He was that young. He was like 9 years old, okay? A 9-year-old should not be playing games or they're running around killing other people for fun, okay? Shouldn't be doing it, all right? Buy that kid a Nintendo. Buy him Mario Kart instead of GTA. Buy him Zelda instead of Call of Duty. Get him a Super Nintendo and get him fucking Mega Man, all right? Mega Man was a fantastic game. Go to GameStop, get a Super Nintendo Classic. Let your kid play some classic games so he gets some respect. Give that kid an 8-bit system, all all right? And who cares if his friends have all the newest shit, all right? Don't be that parent that lets your kid do something because everybody else is doing it, because that's how they join cults, all right, and start drinking the punch and everybody drops dead, okay? It's not good, all right? The other thing that I wanted to talk about, because I've seen a lot of arguments about it, all right, and I touched on it in yesterday's video too, but it was kind of just reinforced for me today, you know, on social media. Social media is terrible. It's awful. It's terrible. I mean, Jesus friggin' Christ, okay? The whole, you know, gun control debate. People are like, we want gun control. We want gun control. We want common sense gun laws. We need gun laws. And I saw a couple arguments today with people that were like, no, we need to do something. But everything that's getting proposed, that's not good enough. Look, you can just say it, all right? You're not fooling us, all right? We know that you don't want gun control. You don't want guns because for whatever reason you don't think that, you know, that we should have them. But you know what? I don't think you should have holes in your ears that I can put a fucking baseball through. But I'm not trying to infringe on your right to fucking mutilate your body like that, okay? Mind your own fucking business on shit you don't understand, all right? Donald Trump, in the past week, all right, has made strides to ban devices like bump stocks, okay, that take a semi-automatic weapon and turn it into an automatic weapon, okay? Now, everybody says, oh, this is an infringement upon my Second Amendment right. It's an infringement upon my Second Amendment right. I should be able to buy whatever fucking bump stock I want because of my Second Amendment right, okay? Let's get something straight. Automatic weapons are regulated, okay? They're not illegal in the United States. Stop saying that shit. They are regulated though. You need to get like government approval. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that they're also incredibly expensive, and I think you got to renew like your government. There's like the government has to give you have to get a tax stamp for it every year. Crazy expensive, all right? And they do that for a reason, okay? You can go out and you can get an automatic weapon in certain states, okay? You pay out the ass for it. It's almost not even worth it. Okay, and they do that to regulate them, okay? So you going out and buying a bump stock is saying, hey man, I know you have this law on the books, but fuck you, all right? There's not, no, all right? You finding a loophole around some government regulation for that's, you know, imposed for the safety of others, you should have that taken away. Nobody needs a bump stock, all right? You want a bump stock, go somewhere where they allow bump stocks, or break the law, be a criminal. Be a criminal and, you know, give all the Democrats a reason to cry for more gun control. All right. He's also backed Dianne Feinstein, who has absolutely 100% made some ridiculous comments to the point where I don't even think she should be a credible person. All right. And she should have had her politician's ID revoked. Okay. But she did propose a bill that would raise the age to buy a rifle or shotgun from 18 to 21. I don't think there's any problems with that. All right, people are up in arms about it, and you know all these Second Amendment email newsletters that I somehow got signed up for. They send you these emails and they do the same thing that the media does, all right? They word it so that you get outraged, okay? Donald Trump is about to back Dianne Feinstein's gun reform bill that she's putting into effect. I need your signatures. This is a big, big, big problem for Second Amendment. We need signatures to stop this, okay? It's not, all right? I closed the email. I Googled Dianne Feinstein's new gun control law, and I saw what it was. Didn't say what it was anywhere in the email, okay? Obviously not, because most people would have read it and been like, oh, I'm okay with that. I'm not signing your fucking petition, asshole. Like, an 18-year-old should not be able to go out and buy a rifle, okay? So he's backing that, all right? He's also allowing teachers to bring their legal handguns to school if they want, okay? He's not making them do it. So all this, we can't get the government to fund our paper. How the hell is he going to fund this? He's not funding that, okay? He's not providing them with training, all right? But you can bring it to school if you want. I have a friend, Colorado. She's a teacher. She has a legal handgun permit, all right? I'm not sure if it's carry conceal or not, but she's got a handgun. If my friend feels safer at school and feels that she is better able to protect her children, she can bring her firearm to school, all right? I don't know what the requirements are going to be on carrying, whether it's going to be concealed carry, it's going to be open carry, whatever, okay? But she can do that. She's allowed, okay? So Donald Trump isn't forcing teachers to do anything, right? Saying, hey, look, here's the deal. We know this has been a rule for a really long time. If you think that having a handgun on you in school will, help, all right? Go ahead, knock yourself out, we'll allow it, all right? So chill the fuck out, okay? Chill the fuck out. But he's doing all this shit, and you guys are attacking him because oh, those are terrible ideas. They're horrible ideas. Awful. Get the fuck out of here. I am willing to fucking guarantee that if those ideas had come out of Obama's mouth, y'all would have been praising him left and right. Oh my God, he's the smartest man alive. He's my president. Donald Trump's hashtag not my president, all right? I got a new one for all the 2A people, hashtag not my FBI, all right? I can't wait to see that on Facebook. Hashtag not my FBI. That one's gonna be fantastic. I think that's gonna be really funny. Chances are the FBI will never clear any of your background checks ever again, and they probably won't let me buy a firearm ever again just because, hey, I brought the light that they fucked up. But who knows? Anyway, that's it. I thought this was gonna be a short video. I guess 26 minutes, a little shorter than 30. All right, you guys have a good night. I'll see you soon.